Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be covering frontal plane hand transfers. It'll help if you understand pendulum swings. If you haven't already seen my video on that, I'll post a link in the description below. Also watch the end as there's a variation that I cover that you might like to try. Okay, so I'll start this movement off with a pendulum swing. My hand stops at the base of the pendulum, and the momentum of the club causes a rotation around my wrist. We transition through a point where the club faces upwards. Let the momentum continue and let the club carry on. Repeat this a few times and try and let the club carry on to do a full pendulum swing. The momentum of the club should help you do this. Also try to be conscious of the three key points that you're hitting, which is left and right and at the bottom of the swing. So after doing that a few times, the movement should be quite smooth. Here I'm doing it from right to left. At this moment in time I'm not getting the other hand involved. So after getting comfortable with that, we can then look at changing hands. Okay, so this is now with my left hand, doing the movement going left to right. This is basically a mirror of what was previously done from right to left. So once you're happy with that, we can look at transferring the club. So as I mentioned earlier, the club will transition through a point where it faces upwards. It's at this point you want to transfer to the other hand. Repeat this process a few times where you continue checking the alignment of the club. And also relax and try and feel the momentum of the club, as that should be what's doing all the work. As you can see, there's very little bend in my elbow, my arms are pretty much extended most of the time. Also I try to roll my shoulders back and open my chest out, particularly on the upswing, otherwise this could cause several shoulder problems. So this is a full movement, alternating between left and right. We'll have a look at it a bit more in detail now, close up. As you can see here, the receiving hand goes slightly higher than the hand holding the club. If it's done correctly, the club should feel quite light as it transitions through the movement. I've slowed down the video so you can see it a bit more in detail. If you watch here, you can see the transition point is when the club's facing upwards. Another method you could use to learn this is to create a larger circle in front of you, which gives you more time to transfer from hand to hand. As you become more comfortable with this movement, you can tighten up the circle, so eventually your hand becomes the pivot point. This will also speed up the transition to the other hand. Okay, so I already mentioned about the shoulders being rolled back. Another thing to think about is your planes and making sure that they're straight. You can see here I'm leaning slightly forward and looking down. This can easily throw off your planes. So this can be rectified by standing up straight and also spotting the club at the left and right points. As I mentioned before, you want to make that plane as straight as possible. This will enable a smoother transition. Okay, so just to recap, we've done an outwards version of that movement. There is also the opportunity to do an inwards variation. So as you can see here, the pendulum starts from across my body. Essentially, you just do the same thing, but just in reverse. To switch between variations, you can let the club swing without changing hands. And here you can see we're back to the outwards variation, which is identified with the club extended outwards. Personally, I don't use the inward variation that much myself, but anyway, have a play with it, let me know what you think. And as always, thanks again for watching.